What's up, gang?
Welcome to Dog. Professional pain. So I love his training system. However, being that I travel, it would never work long term because your training partner in that kind of training is just as important as you. Because you need someone who helps you push beyond that. You know what I mean? And I just couldn't do that. So volume, Dorian Yates was lower volume than the high volume. It was still pretty goddamn high volume.
Yeah, because he still had to work up to that top set. He just treated that highest level set with more importance in the regards to how he talked about it. But we all do the same thing. Yeah, we all have a money set where you go in and you get that money on that set and you just kill yourself. That's what we do, but you still have to work your way up to it.
But the thing is, if let's say like yesterday, for example, I wanted to get 315 for 30 on bench. I got 28, so I aimed for 30. But my first two sets, when I did 1 plate, 1 1/4, 2 plates, 2 1/4, whatever you fuck you call it, you know, half, whatever. It's Australia. I know there's some differences. Basically, the big one, the littler one, and then we went up. So every preceding set, I didn't take those to absolute, I'm gonna fucking die, failure, or almost puked after the set. But that one money set, that's what I did. And that's exactly what Dorian did.
But he just really focused on that set in terms of
he would have got 72 reps.
Yeah, how he talked about it.
Crazy.
But he really talked about that set and how important it was. We just do that just like that, but we don't talk about the workup and structure around that set.
Well, that's what you see.
Yeah, how many seminars like this have you done, and how many people have come up to you and said
In 16 years, I haven't had one negative thing. I believe it's a group of like 20 people who really don't like me, whether it's because of my religion, which I'm not even really Jewish, which is really funny. But no, you see the positive side, but you don't see it does. I'm not good at handling it, no. I'm dead honest about that, but if I say it, they see weakness and they attack, they'll attack no matter what. What I've done is I've just gone in and I've cleaned all my shit up, and anytime I go anywhere else, they come back. I honestly, yeah, if you read something enough, and if something's like, if you call my 10-year-old daughter a whore, that is gonna hurt. There's no way anybody can turn a blind eye to that. I don't care how, if you're a human being with emotions, the shit does hurt. So I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, they're just losers, and they are. They're the lowest pieces of shit on earth. But I mean, you know what? If someone wants to say something, say it to my face. I'm not going to hit anybody. I'm not going to get in a fight. I have too much to lose. But it's become a weird world in that you can do things, and you have no repercussions for what you say.
I mean, I think there's always setbacks. I mean, one of the things is we're all very particular about the manufacturing. We take it very serious, and it's not just, yes, we work with contract manufacturers who have a lot of responsibility as well, but there's a lot of stuff that falls on us. And for me, I know there's constantly, I mean, you're going through an issue right now with a raw material that wasn't up to spec. And so that we do such rigorous testing to make sure everything is perfect, that sometimes if you get a shipment of raw material in it and it's not up to spec, that can put you behind weeks and months, and that's the worst thing. It's a good problem to have being out of stock and there's a lot of demand for your product. But as a company owner, that's horrible because people want to buy your product, you can't fulfill it, and then the consumer is going to want to go off and maybe buy somebody else's product. So that's something that we always deal with. And then, a big thing that we're dealing with now is just cash flow. As I think all 3 of our companies are in the exact same phase. I mean, they're literally taking off like exponentially. And so it's like the more money we make, the less money we have because it all goes back into the business. Because our inventory has tripled in the last year. So managing a cash flow is, for me right now, that's the #1 thing that we struggle with.
Cash flow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, even though we're operating in a positive, I've never run in a deficit as far as profitability. That's not a good way to run a company. But let's say.
But a lot of companies do.
Oh, most companies. You can look. There's 2 public companies I can reference. I actually always get in trouble with. All we have really is Muscle Farm and Isotory, who's owned by iFit, and both of them, even though Muscle Farm lost like 20, some stupid amount, and Isotory did 10 million in sales, lost like $400. That's not saying anything bad about them, but sometimes you almost have to operate. But I've never done that. I couldn't live life. I couldn't wake up like, holy shit, how am I losing money? But I think cash flow, because let's say if I have someone like you're carrying, even if you're maintaining a 50% profit margin. Okay, let's say I get an order and we're growing, My last order was $100,000. I have someone on terms orders $300,000, and it's out 30 to 90 days. I have to then find a way to float that money. I might not have that in operating cash flow, nor I won't operate that low. Then you have to obtain a credit line or whatever, because I definitely don't want investors. But even if your company is extremely healthy, cash flow due to growth, that's why people say, oh, you got to control growth. And it's an absolute, not really control it, you have to manage growth. And sometimes you have to find a credit line or something to do that.
I think another thing that we're all going through is adding personnel in the right places strategically where things may have previously been outsourced and you want to bring them in-house. You know, things like graphic design or web design or inventory management, different stuff, finance type stuff, and finding the right people for that. Like even just for, I mean, Mark has a lot more experience with the warehouse side from another side of his business, but like we've gone through 4 people trying to find one person for our warehouse. You know, like just trying to find one role for someone to be an assistant manager of our warehouse and inventory. We've gone through 4 people that just couldn't cut it. You know, like they would just do things wrong that were so dumb that I was like, you're not going to work, I'm sorry. So that type of thing, finding good people is really hard too, because you know, human capital is the hardest thing to get, really, because we can formulate products, but like having the perfect people in your business alongside you is very difficult. Yeah.
Trend nuggets.
Yeah, it's all immigrant workers paying.
Wait, next question.
We could go on for about 2
I know
hours.
we could, because you
What time
usually
we're
do.
trading 8? Alright, next.
I mean, we do a very small amount of direct sales there, but I mean, it's a drop in the bucket. So there's no, yeah. I mean, I'm totally open for it, but you know, it's not our focus. You know, right now our focus is U.S., Australia, you know, UK and Canada, which we're not really in UK and Canada yet. That's our next focus, but really right now we're really focused on expanding in the U.S. and Australia.
I think it's a business model thing. We, I don't know if you guys have iPhones and shit, right? Their business model is the pull strategy. We don't have a sales force calling. If a distributor in Asia thinks that our brands fit, they'll call us, work out a deal. If the distributor fits what I want to do, I turned down 2 distributors in foreign countries this week because I've done this game before, and the last thing you want to do is push something into a market that's not ready. So when enough people in Asia demand MTS nutrition, we'll be fine, set and ready to go. But I don't have people cold calling, yo, I got this new brand. No, we let you guys do it. That's why, like, well, I want my store to carry MTS. Go to your store and tell them to fucking order it. You know, because that's what it's all about. We don't do that. We don't. A lot of these companies have like a sales staff bigger than anything. You know, we have no sales staff. I have 2 employees on the books for MTS. You know, at the end of the day, it's a consumer demand. I think we all have the same exact company model. So I don't have like the international sales director hitting up Bahrain and all foreign countries trying to be like, hey, we got this new brand and doing that. Once you do that, you lose a lot of the brand integrity. And it goes through a whole cascade of bullshit. We have price wars, parallel importation. Like, for example, if I was to sell to someone who isn't vetted in Japan, what they're going to do is they're going to undercut you guys here in Australia and piss off all our retailers. There's a whole bunch of issues. But yeah, if we get the right distributor, and I'm not going to say no to any market.
That's your money shot.
Yeah, it is my money shot. I think I forgot the messages though. Basically, when you take a protein, like let's say you take MTS whey, it's bound. It's a bonded protein, a bound protein molecule. So your body has to essentially digest it and break down all those molecules. That's a fucked up ringer. So it has to break down those molecules and it's bonded. So it doesn't have that immediate hit or impact. When you take in free-form aminos, the 2-to-1-to-1 ratio of leucine, isoleucine, and valine, it essentially doesn't need to be digested. And what it does, it goes straight to where your muscles need to go. Straight to where it needs to go, which is to your muscles, which is why we take it intra-workout. That increases your protein synthesis. Also in studies, which were never published, I have no fucking idea why, after I left the company, never published them, where the average, there were 3 groups in the study. In the placebo group, which was Gatorade, it was all calorically the same. It's the same calorically. Also, they were all on the same diet per their body weight. So the placebo group, which was Gatorade, gained a pound of lean mass, didn't lose any fat. The whey protein group, which was Civation Whey at the time, gained 4 pounds of lean mass, lost 2 pounds of fat. This is all taken intra-workout. The Extend group, or the BCAA group, which is 14 grams of BCAA during training, they gained 9 pounds of lean mass and lost 4.5 pounds of fat. So those are tangible results done by 2 research groups. And I can stand behind that study and say it was legit because I'm the one who put it on. I could also say if I didn't believe the study's results, I wouldn't even say it now because I don't even own that company anymore. At the end of the day, branch chains work. At the end of the day, it's not going to inhibit fat loss. I heard some YouTubers say, oh, BCAA is blunt fat loss. Fat loss comes down to thermodynamics. If your macronutrients, at the end of the day, you're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. You want to aim to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week or whatever your decided weight point is. So I think that aside from creatine in the last few decades, branch chains are probably the biggest, I'm not even calling it a breakthrough, the biggest introduction to this industry because we've been taking them for years in pill form. And when I was a kid, they used to be available these big horse pills. Twin Lab made them, remember those? And it's not possible to, during training, every time you do a set, to take a 500 milligram capsule of branch chains. So what we were able to do is make it so you can drink it and it tastes good. And even since that version, you know, you tried Core ABC, you tried Machine Fuel, it tastes delicious. So not only are you getting in this great stuff, which we always should have been doing, but now it's actually enjoyable to drink. So branch chains, in my opinion, like Doug even, you almost have to debate, like all of us have to debate, like if you had creatine, beta-alanine, or branch chains, all of which were great. It's a close call, like which one you choose if you had to choose one. So it's a huge breakthrough. And at the end of the day, you can take it at other times, you can sip it throughout the day. The main time to take it is during training. That's when you notice the most benefits. And if you round it up, if you're only taking 2 scoops during training, every time you train 4 to 5 days a week, that's really not that huge of an investment.
Is there any difference in availability and digestion?
Actually, I believe with egg whites there's something called salmonella. Okay. I mean, what the fuck? Why do bodybuilders still want to drink egg whites? There's like,
so much easier to drink them.
Is it not really? Don't you like eating fruit? What's wrong with you people? I mean, it's like so good.
Just use the whey protein.
Yeah, just get Good Core Pro or MTS Whey or.
They do have the pasteurized, all the liquid ones are pasteurized, so you could drink them.
But they're so
But
tasty.
but that differential anyway is so minimal that I wouldn't even sweat it.
Can I put some Australian here? Put some tomato sauce on it?
That's after you cook that shit.
Yeah, but if you want to drink eggs, I mean, just because Rocky did it doesn't mean it's like advantageous.
No, I just heard that only half the rate is digestible, but you get half the protein out of it. But
No.
No, that's not true.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's like the age-old myth that you can only digest 30 grams of protein per meal. That's like saying that, okay, you and me can digest the same amount of protein. It's a little bit different. So it's like, oh, only 30 grams. What if I weigh 240 pounds? I can digest a whole fuckload of protein. You know, it's like these generally, but yeah, if you're putting protein in your body, it's got to do something with it. It's like, what would happen? Like if your body didn't digest it, what would happen? Like what happens that magical loss of like uncooked protein? Yeah. Yes, sir.
When you guys were dieting down, getting ready for comp, what did you do to keep yourself occupied to not like binge eat all the junk that you see, just something to keep your mental state in check?
We have a lot of shit going on, so we don't. Being occupied is not an issue. But like, I mean, for me, it's never an issue to cheat. Like literally, I mean, it's so cliche, but you're only cheating yourself. Like, why are you doing this, right? And so it's like when I get on stage, like, if I think about like my competition that's up there. You know, you could say bodybuilding is, you know, you're just competing against yourself, but everybody who steps on stage wants to win, let's be honest, or you should want to win, or you're, you know, doing something wrong. But I mean, it's never an issue for me, and maybe that's just the way I am and my personality, but there's no trick to it. It's gonna suck. You're gonna probably want to binge, you're probably gonna, you know, want to cheat on your food, but just suck it up and deal with it, you know. Don't try not to let it affect your overall mood and your relationships and all of that. I do watch a lot of like the Food Network, you know, when I'm dieting, like for real. I just love watching like all the crap food that they're eating.
You like Rachel Ray. She's kind of awesome. I like her. She's got this wholesome look to her.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I don't have any tricks or anything like that. It's just how bad you want it.
But at this point, we don't even like fuck up in the non-competition season. In the grow season. I mean, we're on point. We've been doing it so long. It just like for example, last night we got to bed at like 12:30. We were on the flight at 5 a.m. So I mean, we would not be able to be here energetic and go crush it, TM Doug Miller, at the gym later tonight if we didn't fuel our bodies the way we do. But when I started, I had similar problems, you know, where how do you stay occupied? And the way I stayed occupied was I masturbate.
True story?
And I still do that. I don't have cravings. I just really like touching myself. So Sean does the same thing. He taught me that method.